Hey, what's up guys, Josh's Booster here and welcome back to another One Piece video. So, third week in a row I'm doing a Moria video, I think, but I mean, I asked like on Twitter, I won locals with the deck, with like another update to the list. I asked Twitter like, do you want to see the deck list, and like, overwhelming majority said they wanted to. And like in the meantime, actually, my friend Edwin also played this at a store regional, where he went X1 and got third place qualifying for the European Championship as well. With pretty much the same list. I think there was like one card difference or something. And I really feel like this deck is very, very good. And in fact, just yesterday, someone made top 8 at the Montreal Regional with Moria as well. So I really think there is something to this deck in this format. And I'm just super excited to show off the deck list. I will be showing off my updated deck list. No stage this time. And I do think the no stage build is probably the way to go. And then I'll, like, at the end of the video, I'll also go over, like, my local matchups, real quick. It was just, like, a small local, just 4 rounds, but I went undefeated. And I played against mostly meta decks, so just want to go over that, real quick, like I already said. Let's just hop into the deck list. Alright, so diving right into the deck list. Don't worry about the band-aid, you wouldn't believe what happened even if I told you. We have, of course, the leader, Gecko Moria. Just as a super brief reminder, if it has a Dawn when attacking, you may rest 2 Dawn, so a little bit like Doflamingo, but like the other way around, I guess, right? Discard a card, trash 2 cards from the top of your deck, and then you can play a Thriller Bark Pirates type character card with a cost of 4 or less from your trash. So basically you always just have access to whatever you want to, right? I mean, after the establishing turns of the game. So just starting with like the most basic part of the deck, which is the Thriller Bark engine. We play 4 Sindri. This is like the starter card. Like, honestly, I feel like almost literally every hand you draw, and this is in your starting hand, you're usually going to keep it unless the rest of your hand is like really, really bad, because this is just going to set you up for the remainder of the game, which of course is very important. Then the full playset of Absalom. This is arguably the most important Thriller Bark Pirate type character in your deck, because it's the one that KOs a 2-cost on play, and then you just play like a bunch of reduction and stuff to make this effect go off, of course. So yeah, not much to say about that. Then 4 times the Perona, also just like a staple, right? It's a 2k, and the discarding effect definitely comes up, and even sometimes the -3 effect can be good. Then I'm playing 4 Hogback. So actually I feel like you could probably get away with playing 3 of this, and I think the guy who got top 8 at the Montreal Regional was actually playing 3 of them. It's honestly not that important. I guess it comes up to play of the leader effect more often than Perona does, but Perona is a 2k, right, so you can't really cut that. But you very rarely go for this line. Only like in the super late game, if in like a really grindy game, you will often go into like this to pick up like just another body, like Ryuma or something, and then like play it out. And of course like digging for counter comes up as well, but you really find that you're usually just playing Absalom if you can. And then this is like the new addition to the deck and to the list as well, because this came out in OP10. Just like if it has a Dawn, it has double attack. It's a 6k body, which is obviously very, very strong. I was being way too cute not playing this card. This card's actually absolutely insane and really helps you with like a lot of matchups. Like, your bad matchups are usually going to play out like you try to play out Ryuma on your like 3 Dawn turn or 4 Dawn turn, and then you just try to pressure them really, really hard. And this will actually work like a surprising number of times. And it's also just good to, like, in the more late game when you want to go for game on the next turn, just to set this up. If you're playing like a deck that doesn't play a lot of removal. Yeah, this card's absolutely phenomenal, and I really feel like Absalom and this guy are probably the Thriller Bark Pirates that you are playing out the most. And then the last Thriller Bark Pirate I played is one Kerberos, but I will probably be upping this to 2, actually, because I do think having access to this can be quite good. It's just like a 2k blocker, or a 2-cost blocker, right? Just generally good against stuff like Teach, but also against Shanks, and like in the really late stages of the game, this card can be good. Yeah, that's the Thriller Bark part of the deck. Pretty much speaks for itself, I think. Pretty basic. Then onto the rest, on the full playlist of Rebecca. This is in my opinion just one of the best cards in the game, and it just proves itself over and over again. You'll see that really the only target I'm playing for this is Hina. You can also play like the 3-cost Brute, but I really don't think it comes up that much in this deck. Like this deck is not Lucci, it does play quite differently, but Rebecca's just very good. You can use it to pick up like counters, go to the Rebecca line, even do Rebecca Sabo, because as you'll be seeing I'm playing Sabo as well. Then for Hina is just amazing in this deck. You will really find that very often on the 6th Dom turn you're going to be playing this out. And then go leader, swing, play out Epsilon, and get rid of basically anything your opponent played out on the previous turn. Which is very strong. You also establish like 2 5k beaters. So yeah, amazing card, and you needed it in a trash for the Rebecca and stuff. Then just another 2k I'm playing is a Tsuru. Not much to say about that. I also see like a number of lists playing the one-legged soldier, which gives like -3 and like you can set it up earlier and stuff. And I guess you can use it against Teach as well occasionally. But I feel like Tsuru is... It's hard to say. I do like Tsuru, and I do like that she sticks to the board, so that potentially later on in the game you can play out like a Stussy and sack it to just remove anybody, right? And I'm playing Stussy as well, so I really feel like if you're playing Stussy in your build, which I think probably should be in the deck, then this is a little bit better than the one-legged soldier. Then I already mentioned it just now, but I'm playing the full playset of Sabo. Just generally good card, and like the main reason for this being in the deck is that this deck really struggles with Lucci. However, if you are playing for Sabo, suddenly the matchup becomes, I would almost say favorable, because like on 3-Don you just like play out Ryuma, or 4-Don of course, and then after that you just try to play out like Sabo each turn, and it will be really hard for your opponent to deal with. Then I'm also playing 2 Manchari, just generally good card in black, right? This deck also sets up the trash, so you will be able to exit your Rebecca with this like a fair amount of times. Yeah, not much to say about that. Then I was playing 2 Laboon. Just like another -4, it helps you set up your Absalom plays. But honestly, I don't think this card is so great, so I'm probably taking like this out and then ending like a Cerberus and maybe like another Stussy. Not 100% sure yet. Then, pretty spicy card I think is this is the 6-cost Brook. So why I think this is good is that Lucky Roo is like the bane of this deck's existence, and this card just plays into Lucky Roo super well, like you don't have to lose out a body to it on that turn. And then you'll also find that Teach, they sometimes don't use their leader effect, and then you can suddenly super punish them by just playing out this and getting rid of the Burgess. Another option for this card is Sakazuki, which I actually also saw in the list of the guy who got top 8 in Montreal, which I also think is good. It fulfills like a similar purpose. It's not exactly the same, but like the 7k stat is huge, I think. And also being able to get rid of a 5-cost opposed to a 4-cost is pretty big against decks like Red Green Smoker, for example, and Lim, of course, which is pretty popular now. Then I already mentioned her as well. Double CP Taylor Swift, Stussy. Just a very good card. This deck really struggles once 10-cost Shanks hits the board, and this card just removes the 10-cost Shanks super effectively. Like if you don't have this, you have to go like Hina, Rebecca Hina, Absalom or something like that to get rid of it, which is very expensive play and needs like a lot of setup, and this just does the same thing but way easier. Like an ideal world you start with Sindri and you can just sack off the Sindri with this. Very good. And then the last 4 cards in the deck are going to be Tempest Kick. You will find that sometimes this deck struggles a little bit to set up the trash, especially if you don't see Sindri early on. But this card is just super strong, and you will usually get to the 10 cards in trash. And then, you know, if you have that, it just combos so well with Absalom and like your other reducers. And it becomes pretty easy to get rid of like bigger threats. So yeah, that's the deck list. I'll just talk about the matchups I played real quick. Alright, so that was the deck list. Let me know what you thought about that. Just talk about my matchup from locals real quick. Round 1 I went against like aggro Shanks, which I beat because I went like God Curve and then Stussy the 10 cost, and then the game was pretty much over. Then round 2 I played against Zoro, so another aggro deck. But this deck is like fairly strong into aggro decks, so couldn't really complain. I took that one quite convincingly as well. Then in the 3rd round I went against Red Green Smoker, which I suppose is like also an aggro deck, even though like it verges on control as well. But he didn't really have the best hand. Like he didn't have Smoker, Tashigi on curve, and then they struggle really bad against black, right? And then in the final, actually, I had to play against my friend Bruce, who was on Usopp, which is like a horrible matchup, but my boy Ryuma, he got me there, definitely won me the game, along with like a little bit of luck of him not having like the best hands. And yeah, that's it. Then my friend Edwin at the store regional, he plays against like, I don't know, like 2 Shanks and 3 purple Luffy or something like that. That was like purple Luffy meta for some reason. And he lost to one of the purple Luffys. But yeah, I really think this deck is very, very strong. And I really think like it getting top 8 at a regional shows it is. Even though that build was like a little bit different than from mine, or like quite a bit different to be honest. But I do really think this build is very, very solid. I highly recommend checking it out if you do enjoy playing this leader or just enjoy playing black decks in general. Yeah, and of course, as always, just let me know what you think in the comments. Leave a like. If you haven't yet, please subscribe. And if you do, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!